Good evening. What's up, man? It's the Beast of the East podcast on this October. On this August 8th, 2022. We welcome you to the Beast of the East podcast. Joining me is the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Kentucky Blue himself.
So,
It's Vinny Hardy.
what's up, everybody? CB.
What's up, man? What's up, Vinny? So,
If it was
as
October 8th, it'd be Texas A&M in Alabama.
I know. That's exciting to think about, right?
You know, that's SEC West stuff. And, but, I'm just saying.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. Let's see what this looks like. Hey. That was pretty cool. So, we are the best. We are the Beast of the East podcast. We are brought to you by betonline.ag. I would be remiss if I didn't tell you about how they continue to be the number one source for all your betting needs. It is the fastest, easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports, contests, and events with first to market odds and lines. You can find reviews and news for every league, including MLB, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. And I bet if you begged, and I bet if you said, hey, what about the MLS? They would say, you know what? I got you. Here's your lines on the Seattle Sounders versus Atlanta United match. Here you go. So, BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all of your sports information from live in-game betting, props, and futures. Head to BetOnline today. Use that mobile device to join today. Make your first sports bet. Use our promo code BELIEVE50. That's BLEAV50 to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, it's where that game starts, man. Okay, so lots to talk about today. We got an action-packed show. Fall camp starts. The title of the show is "Fall Camp Rolls On." We mean that. So join in on the chat. We will when you throw a comment in there. This is what it'll look like right here. Social comments will display there, and we will showcase them in this live stream as long as they are appropriate and it's not that you know what I mean. The Russian bots, but Israel's not here, so the Russian bots aren't coming for us just yet. So subscribe to the channel, Y'all's Conference Network, and we will get this thing rolling, man. So like I said, fall camp is upon us, but unfortunately the biggest story right now is this Cale Gundy, Oklahoma story. Now, Vinny, to set the scene, all right, here's the scene. All right, you're in the film room. You got a distracted player. You got them taking notes, right? And they're doing either on paper or they're doing on iPad, probably tapping away on their phone, stuff like that. Well, he's walking around circulating. He finds one that's this kid is not necessarily writing down football stuff. I don't know what he's writing down. But Cale Gundy decides he's going to pick it up and read it. And when he reads it, it ain't good. He blacks out for a second, reads it multiple times, and there was a racial slur in there. There was a word, a big no word in there, and he read it out loud. Brent Venables said, "Hey, you got to go, brother." And so he resigns. There's this big statement. Now, Cale Gundy's daughter is coming after Brent Venables. So this thing just keeps spiraling, right, Vinny?
Yeah. Cale Gundy, I read it multiple times. I don't know how you don't stop yourself, or like you said, just lose it to that extent.
To read the same word over and over again.
We just Ron Burgundy, with the anchor man, and where he just reading on the teleprompter and not paying attention. And now, we get all these distractions that they don't want and all this stuff that, trying to get ready for camp. Venables in his first time as a head coach. And, now you got these curveballs that you got to deal with. And,
yeah, that's a massive curveball.
And Gundy's 50 years old, old enough to know better. Clearly,
Yeah.
been down there for 16 years. Been there a long time. Play for OU, been coaching for OU forever, and I don't know what you call it. I don't know. I don't. You say blacked out. I don't know what. We can't get in his head, but I don't. I don't understand what.
Went into like a blackout rage. I don't know. Like I'm trying to figure out like what in your right mind would be like. So you either blacked out, had a moment, obviously not acceptable, not condoning it, but sometimes you get into such a rage that you can kind of forget what you're saying or you don't really know what you're saying. But then again, that could have been very pointed. So I don't know what to believe.
What was his statement? He read it. It was a no. Then he was horrified or something.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what? If I'm paraphrasing correctly.
That's right. He's it's bad. Yeah, I read it, and then when I read the statement and I realized what I read, I was horrified.
Right.
What, after the first 5 times you weren't?
When I realized what I read, that's sometime later, and then you had to be shown what you had been reading because you didn't realize what you were repeatedly reading. I don't know. It's just odd, very odd situation down there in Norman, Oklahoma.
Very odd. Do you think there's something fishy?
Wait, it's like Venom was wanting him gone and didn't know how to get him gone. Is that what we?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying Venable's like told the kid to type some stuff on his laptop, but like, is there something to what Cale Gundy's daughter's saying? Is there something more that we need to dig in?
I don't know. She mad because Venables said him resigning is the right thing to do. I don't know if that's what maybe kind of set her off. Like,
of course, she's going to come to the aid of her father. So
yeah. I don't know if that's what kind of maybe it's the right thing to do. Like, they're pushing my dad out. He's been a fixture in this program for 2 decades. Or, I think the statement from Venables over half his life, which is true. I mean, he played there and coached there. So, yeah, over a quarter of a century, he's been part of the program. So she's no doubt, don't know how old she is, but the bulk of her life was probably rooted around living there and all that. And now seeing dad have to find another job or take a year off and then find out whatever he's going to do to pivot from here. I don't know. Maybe that her seeing his quote of saying that was the right thing for him to do. It's kind of maybe didn't sit well.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It just seems weird.
It was the right thing for my dad to do. It was right for dad to be gone. That's what you. And so so now it's going to be this back and forth until there'll be something else in a new cycle eventually that'll make this die down. That always happens. But as for right now, this is it. Until some kind of camp battle heats up, or unfortunately there's some significant injury somewhere, or something to kind of take away the focus from this. This is
I mean, like this will blow over, and then it'll get lost in the cycle in about a week because something else will happen.
Yeah, but it doesn't make it any less weird.
No, it will always be weird. I think I think it's going to take all season to kind of just wash the stink away from this scenario. I don't think it'll be talked about it as much. I think if Cale Gundy gets hired on somewhere, it might drum it back up. Maybe he takes a year off. Maybe he does something. I don't know. I'm not sure with what all of this, how it's all going to unfold. You wish the best for all parties involved, obviously, but there's got to be more, right?
Yeah, I don't know. How would it have sat in the locker room had he stayed? Which back with Jack apparently said what he said, and he's going to be
former players. Former players had his back.
Mm-hmm. You think about flip to the NFL, Jack Del Rio is still gonna be with these dudes in the locker room after he said what he said a few weeks ago. So that with difference of opinion, difference of viewpoint, that's gonna be there, and he's still trying to coach. And these are grown men too.
Yeah.
Gundy's not gonna be there with these guys, so I don't, that may make it blow over. From a
Yeah.
player standpoint, his daughter's not gonna let it go, but
No, she's going to try to get to the bottom of it, or maybe she will. I mean, maybe it'll be a whole big nothing burger. I'm not real sure, but nonetheless, if there's anything to be gleaned from this, don't like if you're in education, if you're in football, don't snatch somebody's stuff up and start reading it out loud. Like you don't know what people are writing or typing or whatever. You just don't know, and to do that, you put it like you're just asking for trouble. You know what I mean?
you're in education and in football. Is he reading it to humiliate the player? Why not just say, Johnson, get your head back in the meeting, pay attention, or
Yeah, I mean,
like
why does it have to? Like, why does it have to get to that point? I mean, obviously, we're not privy to what goes on in that room,
mm-hmm.
but like it got to that point so quick. I don't know what was said before, but like I don't understand how you could get to that level of humiliation. Like, you know, there's certain levels of like, he could have asked him like turn his iPad off. He could have said, "Hey, write these notes on this paper and pencil," or I mean, there's a lot of things that he could have done differently. Literally, probably anything differently besides putting hands on him. Like
Yeah,
this might be the worst thing he could do without physically putting hands on him.
yeah, because whatever his intent was, it clearly backfired. I mean, because
Yeah, that's
yeah.
that's an understatement. that is an understatement, man.
We don't know what his intent was, but whatever it was, I'm
I don't
sure
really care what his intent was.
that wasn't what he was going for. And
Is it really
I
ever?
don't
What?
believe we blacked out. I'm skeptical to say we blacked out too, because I mean we can read and
Yeah,
comprehend what we're reading and hear what we say when we're talking, and we still going over this and over this. It's a lot of weird stuff on a lot of levels. Yeah,
yeah, just weird. Just
yeah,
all around strange way to go.
yes.
And
Mhm.
sounds like Brent Venables was happy that it happened organically,
So yeah, and back to that. That's a
which doesn't make sense to me either. Because why would you want that to
Was he
happen?
told to keep him on staff? Was he not? I mean, most people bring their own dudes in,
Mm-hmm.
but he was a holdover, and
Mm-hmm. Like there's some friction there, maybe. I don't know. Like it's again, like I don't think anything would surprise me that came out about this story. If there
yeah,
is anything more to come out,
yeah. And we don't know what kind of coach Venables is going to be yet because he's never been a head coach. I mean, we know he's a defensive guy. That's his background on that side of the ball, and
yeah,
is he just going to let the offense, you handle it, or is he going to kind of try to be hands on and get in there and have input? We don't know, but and like you said, do you not want Kel Gundy there or and whatever? Now you gotta. They already promoted a dude, but
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. I don't know. Like it just seems weird. Just
Mm-hmm.
seems so odd.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Even
well,
and if IT was here, we had to ask him if because he's been in those rooms before.
mm-hmm.
Even if it's next week, if he's not on tonight, man, they picked up your iPad and was reading it.
Yeah,
Yeah, what he said, get his perspective when he's in here.
yeah. Hey, Israel, what happens? He's not. See, I made you guys think. All right, so hopefully he comes in. I'll ask him
Well, I
about it.
almost jumped in and oh no, he's not.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm gonna lay that scenario out to him, see what he thinks. I don't. I hope for the sake of this scenario, I hope he doesn't know the story. He probably does, but I hope he doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
So that I can say, what if I told you this was the offensive coordinator of the Oklahoma Sooners?
Yeah. It is.
Boom.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go around the league, okay? Let's start in Knoxville.
All right.
Let's start in Knoxville, okay? Um, practice number 7 um, concluded. All right. Um, had some injuries, had some guys coming back. Offensive lineman Jerome Carvin was back at practice. Um, this offensive line is going to be pretty sneakily good. My man Matthew Perkins joined me on Believe in Dogs last week, while Israel was chowing down on some crawfish, and we talked about Tennessee's offensive line. They're going to be pretty good. All right, but it seems like everything's going pretty well. I mean, the receivers are starting to get some timing with Hendon Hooker. You guys have Brandon Turnage. I say you guys. Rocky Top. They have Brandon Turnage. He's starting to, you know, on the in the back end of the DBs. He's starting to kind of be a little bit more comfortable. So tomorrow there's scrimmaging, right? There's scrimmaging. So Jalen Wright, he's out on the offensive line. So it's going to be kind of like a depth builder there. There's a battle at left tackle, J.J. Crawford and Gerald Mincy. So we'll see kind of where that goes. So the scrimmage tomorrow should give us a lot of answers out there in Rocky Top. So, but really, I'm just looking forward to, can the defense keep up a little bit? Can they have something in the tank to make a few stops to give Tennessee more wins this year?
And will that offense, we saw how quick strike they were. Will they actually, as Hank Stram said, matriculate the ball down the field and have some 8, 9, 10 play drives so the dudes maybe can catch their breath on the defense side of the ball?
Not against Kentucky.
Dude.
God, I can't. That still blows me away. It was 49-13 in time of possession, and the score was flipped for like 49-13 was the score. It's like, good Lord.
Yeah, just bombs. 30 seconds they had the ball. Just,
yeah.
So will they try to slow themselves down a little? Because they know they were 99th in total defense last year.
They won't. They won't slow themselves down, and they probably, honestly, they shouldn't. That's who they are. So go for it, man.
So just throw balance out the door. No balance. Just
there's no balance in this offense.
If you get a stop, fine. We're just pedal to the metal.
Mm-hmm.
Try to get a stop. Just
That's it. That's where we're at here.
Are they going to be 99th again? Are they going to move up?
Nah, I think they return a lot of guys, so they can only go up from here, right?
Can it? If we're playing the same type of offense.
Well, you are, but
yes, you'll be out there a lot defensively.
But it's like Ole Miss's defense; they were horrendous. Then they improved each year, and then they got rid of DJ Durkin, so I think they're going to hit a whole nother level of defense. They're recruiting more depth, right? That's the name of the game: recruit more depth. I think they're doing so. Yeah. So I think they'll be better. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know
what. They're never going to smother anybody. Is what you're saying? They're never going to just.
No, it's not. It's never going to be. Never going to be that. It's going to be balls to the wall. 60 minutes of hell. Just you're going to come out of that game like you just ran a cross country meet.
Weren't they the most penalized team in the league too? Are they going to be? They like the Raiders of the SEC?
Surely they'll clean that up.
Well, and he seemed like he didn't really care about that either. I don't know.
He's just happy to be there, that's what I say. Be happy to be there.
And he's got his old AD, so he had nothing to worry about, being somebody else's choice. Got Danny White up there, so he's comfortable, job security, and that thing. So he got that going for him too.
Yeah, there you go. All right, Vandy. They actually had a scrimmage on Saturday. Are they going to be the best program in the conference? Probably not anytime soon. But the report is on quarterback Mike Wright. His overall accuracy was better. It's kind of been feast or famine for him.
Mm-hmm.
But he's going to be. He had an 85-yard touchdown run too, so it's kind of like frustrating. What do you see like with Mike Wright? Can they win with him?
Like, win to what extent?
Well, can they go to? Do they have a chance at a bowl game with their current schedule with Mike Wright?
Okay. Hmm. Probably not. Hawaii, Elon, Northern Illinois, Northern Illinois, picked to win their division in the MAC. So it's not chopped liver for, and Vandy has to go there. So Kentucky gets them at home. Vandy has to go up there. Hawaii, Elon, Wake, Northern Illinois. And look at them getting all 4 non-conference games in before they step into the league. So there's no break once. I mean, you don't play a couple conference games and then play Elon. That's your first month non-conference, and then you hit your meat grinder. So ETSU went down there last year and boat raced them.
Mm-hmm. So this is not good. So his overall accuracy's been better, been feast or famine. He gets he's missing low and away. He has an 85-yard touchdown, then also then turns around and fumbles it when he's not touched. Threw some bad picks, but also threw some dimes. Like that's about as exciting of a quarterback performance as you're going to get, man. You just have no clue.
2-10 last year.
Can they improve on that at least? Can they get at least 2 more wins?
Maybe. And look, this is I've been here as a fan. Last year Joker Phillips 2-10. First year Mark Stoops 2-10. Stoops went from 2 wins in year 1 to 5 in year 2 and 5 in year 3. And if you beat Louisville, they're playing Louisville for a chance to go to a bowl game. They didn't win them, but if Lee gets to 4, if he doubles his win total, I think they should be patting him on the back and singing his praises.
Yeah.
His cupboard might be barer than ours was when Stoops took over. I'm sure it's got to be.
It is, but they have this guy AJ Swan.
Sounds
like
good.
What a name! Like your quarterback now lining up at quarterback number 2, AJ Swan. Right. He made some big time throws. He threw one into triple coverage to wide receiver Will Shepard. It ended up being a drop, but it was a rather ambitious throw.
I mean, what do you give them? Their first 4 games, what do you give them? And they're not all non-conference games in a row. What do you give them?
I think they win again. Shoot, this is hard. This really is hard. I think they win at Hawaii. I think Hawaii's pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
Hawaii's really bad, actually. I think they win against Elon.
Okay.
I think they get boat raced by Wake, and it's going to be a tight one at Northern Illinois, but I think they eke that one out.
And then you don't have a chance to win another one until Missouri in conference play.
And then you got Bama at Bama. That'd be fun, right?
You don't have a chance to win again until you go to Como. That'd be
Oof, rough.
I mean, you don't.
What do you think? What do you think happened? What do you think happens in Como? I don't know. That Ole Miss game's a trap game. Trap game.
Last year, they lost to Missouri at home 37-28.
Is that bad?
Huh.
Is that bad?
I mean, they played Missouri tougher at home than they played ETSU. So that's, I mean, whatever that's worth. Now they go out there. I think they got a puncher's chance to beat Missouri.
Yeah,
Uh,
they do.
it's
But I mean,
yeah.
that's if they beat Missouri, that's 4 wins right there. I think
What?
they can get
You got
4.
Hawaii and Elon and Missouri. That's three. Where's the fourth one?
Northern
Oh no,
Northern
they give
Illinois.
them North Illinois.
I'm giving them that one.
So they rolling Tuscaloosa 3-1, riding high. Okay.
3-1, but like it hadn't really played anybody except Wake. Wake's gonna freaking blow the doors off of them. The Wake game will be more indicative of where Vanderbilt is than the Hawaii game. Hawaii is bad. Elon is bad. Northern Illinois is not as good as they used to be. But they're pretty good at home. So I don't know. That game might be scary.
Yeah.
But after getting boat raced by Wake Forest, that game might be a little scary.
Mm-hmm.
All right, where do you want to go next?
So we just finished Tennessee. We got to leave the state Tennessee now. That's both of them. I mean.
No, we're going to MTSU. What are you talking about?
Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
sorry.
go.
No,
All right.
Blue Raiders.
Speaking of Missouri, let's go. Let's go to Mizzou.
Yes. This be tough sledding for them too.
Mm-hmm.
This
This ain't gonna be a good thing for Eli Drinkowitz.
is I don't see it being. You know, everybody's trying to climb up and carve out respect for themselves, and they got passed by a lot of programs. You know, it's not 12 anymore where they came in and won the East a couple times. You know?
They're just not recruiting to that level.
Mm-mm.
They're not. And
Say,
they don't have a starting quarterback now either. But it looks like Brady Cook might be in the driver's seat.
you said the other day they've had 4 ADs and 3 defensive coordinators in the past 10 years. So what do you no consistency, no continuity? What do you expect? What do you expect?
They expect to win, Vinny. We're gonna win around here at
We've been making
Missouri. Welcome to the SEC. 2013, 2014 SEC champs.
either Gary Pinkel and Naldo, and
They're just now realize they just realized that it was a mistake firing Gary Pinkel.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6-6 last, 6-7 last year. And they beat South Carolina, beat Florida, eked out, a 1-point win against Florida at home when that Florida team had clearly melted in. This was next to last game of the season for them. So, I mean, it was Florida's, the wheels that come off for Florida last year.
Oh, that was bad.
Yeah, so that's 2 air wins. I don't know if they beat Florida and South Carolina this year. I can't just.
I don't see it. It's gonna be tough sledding for them.
Absolutely. And it's at Florida and Kansas State. That's tough on the road for them.
That is very tough.
At Auburn, that's pivotal for both teams right there because not much to expect from either one of these teams. You got to go to Auburn. If they go and beat Auburn, Harson's getting, they're stringing his guts out on Toomer's corner if he loses to Missouri at home.
Oh no, that's not good. That is not good at all. Oh no.
The fork in the road for Auburn. If you lose to Mizzou, your season is. I mean, I don't know if you come back from that. And so this is pivotal for both of them, honestly, man. Early in the
Yeah.
season, first conference game at Auburn. Ooh.
Yeah.
The winner of that game, you get to have some light. Well, they play Georgia the next week, but still.
Yeah.
But that's crucial for both of these teams trying to again find their way.
Mm-hmm.
The seat's gonna get hot for Eli or Harsin real quick.
Yeah. It's gonna get tricky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So they've been making staff changes, been making hires and changing stuff, but nothing. They haven't got any results. They haven't significant results.
Yeah.
They probably hoped to win more than 6 games last year, and it didn't happen.
No.
It's tough out there in these streets, man.
It is. It really is. It really is. So there's a bottom feeders.
They still upset that they've lost 8 out of 9 or whatever it is to Kentucky. My co-host covered the game 2017, back when we first started beating them. And
Yeah.
up in the press box, and you can hear their coaches over there. The next one, just cussing and throwing a fit and throwing stuff. And losing to Kentucky, but it keeps happening, and they because
Yeah.
in their minds, we shouldn't be losing them, but you keep doing it. You keep losing to Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where they are now, and he's got an uphill battle. He's got as the old folks say, he got a tough road to hoe.
Yeah. It's not good.
Mm-mm.
Not good at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, September 24th, Missouri at Auburn. It won't be the marquee game on anybody's, but for Auburn and Missouri, that's huge to me.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I don't know. That'll be tough. That'll be very, very tough.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very tough. So that's where do you want to go now? That's Missouri.
Let's go to the other Columbia, I guess. Might as well.
South Carolina, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
All right, Spencer Rattler. Let's see here. That is probably the number one story from Gamecock camp. From the land of the University of South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Much to no one's surprise, Spencer Rattler is under center with the first string offense. Jalen Brooks and Twan Wells are at the receivers. Marshawn Lloyd is the featured running back.
Mm-hmm.
This is from Gamecock Scoop. I didn't realize Lavoisier Carroll transferred from Georgia to South Carolina.
What?
I forgot about that.
Ooh.
Because they moved him to corner when he got to Athens, and he said, "Nah, I'm good. I'm a running back." So he signed with South Carolina.
Wow. I think y'all were more caught up with your cousin transferring to Alabama than you were this dude. That's why.
No, this dude was like, "Yeah, I'm out." I'm like, "All right, cool." You couldn't crack the running back room, so they moved you to corner.
Yeah. So
he's a good player, former 4-star from IMG. I mean, he's not a bad player. He's not going to suck at South Carolina, although that offensive line is going to be pretty bad, I think.
So they overachieved last year. Do they sustain it, or do they take a step back under Beamer this year?
I don't know. They play hard.
Yeah, they do.
It's hard to say. It's difficult to say. They play hard, man.
And 6-6, and as we mentioned, they lost to Missouri last year.
Oh, God,
it's all tangled up. You can't really make sense out of none of this. This team barely beat Vanderbilt. We're just talking about 21-20 win over Vanderbilt at home last year. I mean, so what a thin line, Corey.
I know.
I mean, you drop that at home to Vandy.
I know.
I mean, you lose to Missouri. This is true with anybody except Georgia and Alabama. they're this far away from being 4-8 easy. Just don't flip those two games right there. And
Mm-hmm.
then Beam's getting all this love, and there's no mayonnaise getting dumped on him and none of that. Just,
Mm-mm.
I mean, it's that fine of a line.
Yeah, it really is. I'm like, what is happening here?
They lost. It was the game last year with them. It was close. It should have been 16-10. It was an ugly win in their minds. Should have beat Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
No, should have beat him.
yeah. Well, so if and woulda, shoulda, coulda, they eked out a win against Auburn. There's a bunch of one-score games like you hear in the NFL.
Yeah.
Teams that games decided by 7 points or less. Well, that's South Carolina last year. Except they either got blown out or it was a nail biter. Georgia
Yeah.
drills them, Texas A&M drills them. They blow Florida out. Everything else, well, they blow out Eastern Illinois. Everything else is a one-score game either way for them. And so
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how we decipher that. And Spencer Rattler's coming to town to be the savior to get them where they're trying to go. With all this hype and hoopla, and I still don't see it. He'll just have to make a believer out of me, and maybe he will.
Yeah, I don't really see it either. I don't get it. I don't know Israel. He feels the same way. I just don't get it. I don't understand.
And
I'm
they
at
play
a
defense in this
loss.
league. They play way more defense than you've seen in the league you coming over here from.
Yeah, I
I
know.
mean,
And you got replaced.
yeah,
It's like what do you
yeah.
what? I
But you
mean,
still,
sometimes fresh starts are good, but I don't know. Show me. How about that? Show
yeah.
me.
We're from Missouri right now. Show us.
Hmm. Missouri and South Carolina might as well be the same state. Show me. All right. Um, T.J. Sanders as a D lineman, he looked pretty good with the second team. He might get some first team reps. He might be a rotational guy. Kai Kroger, not to be confused with the founder of Kroger, Chad Kroger. He's dealing with a foot injury. William Joyce and Alex Herrera um, punting and working with the long snappers. So the special teams, they might have a punter. Vinny, they might have a punter,
Steve
which is
Kerr.
they may need a punter.
Yeah.
They may need a punter. So here's your schedule. They have the next open practice on the 12th. They have a scrimmage at Williams Bryce the next day on the 13th. Tuesday, tomorrow, they have offensive players available. The 10th, they're off. Friday, like I said, is open practice. Sunday, August 14th, is an off day, too. Whew. That's what that schedule makes me think of. That's what South Carolina football makes me think of. Yawning. Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
yawning. So, what's going on with Kentucky?
uh, just had fan day Saturday.
Well,
Uh,
there you go. Did you
defense
go?
is way ahead. Not. I was working a little bit down here, so I missed it. Uh, hat tip. They brought Guy Morris back, who coached them in the early 2000s. Um, and he's kind of suffering from Alzheimer's now, and had some health issues. But they brought him to fan day, and it was cool to see him kind of give him some love. Defense is way ahead of offense right now. A lot of interceptions, and the offense can't get anything going, and that whole
Mm-hmm.
thing, which is kind of par for the course this time of the year. Um, Even though, especially with a new OC coming in, even though they didn't change much offensively, um, the defense clearly had the better of it in the first practice. C Rod was out there, which that was cool. He had a nice little wheel route and a little one-handed catch over the DB. Lost him
Whole
a little
C
bit.
Rod. I thought he was a senior like 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's been there for a little minute. So
He has been
still
there
haven't
for.
really said what's up with his suspension, and we had a little bit of a DUI, and he's got some other little peripheral stuff that kind of hurt what it is, but nobody's really sure, and nothing's really been official, so we'll see if he's out for a game or two. Florida game in week 2 at the Swamp. Is he gonna be back? Is he gonna miss it? So that's still a big question mark. And offensive tackles, Um, now the good one is the big dude from Louisville, home state recruit. Figures a factor into the rotation. Jagger Burton from right there in Lexington, young guys coming up. You talk about the depth, and so that's kind of where we are. With some of this depth step up, she had 3 guys from the line move on to the NFL last year.
There you go. There you go. Dude, I like that. I like that report. A lot of people are downgrading Kentucky just because, like, you lose some stuff and, like, everybody just wants to downgrade Kentucky.
Yeah,
But, like, they're showing that, like, they belong.
And it's still, y'all get respect universal from everybody. I was listening to, was it Jocks out of Birmingham? Matt McLaren, and he was going through the West. Everybody's most important game, each team. And he said, Ole Miss, and he was saying their most important game is going to be Alabama. He said, because the first half of their schedule is easy. They're going to be easy. So sure, they're going to be favored to beat Kentucky, but is it going to be easy? In his mind, it is. A lot of people still look at Kentucky and should, and Ole Miss is just going to cruise, basically what he's saying. So, okay. So it's cool to hear outsider's perspective. So you're still not getting love for what you're doing.
Yeah, people aren't respecting Mark Stoops, man.
Yeah.
They're not seeing it.
Not yet. Not everybody.
They're not seeing
like
it.
Stoops said, I like when they talk about average season instead of before. And that's kind of their mindset. Which he has got some love. They won't be just trash like everybody's saying. So he's gonna have to manage them being some favorites more than he has been in previous years, where they could just, it was bulletin board material every week. But now that's not as much as it was, but there's still some out there. And they look for that stuff. Vince Marrow, the tight ends coach, number 1 recruiter, that dude on Twitter, he's out there just looking for, like Michael Jordan. I took that personally. That's how they are, man.
I took it personally.
Whatever they can find to just any little bit of disrespect, they're out there just sniffing it out.
Yeah, no doubt. Man, you got to love that. I took it personally. And I took that personally. Somebody did a cut up of every time he said that. It was like 13 minutes.
It was like longer than Allen Iverson practice.
We talking about practice.
Yeah.
And I took that personally. And it never happened again. Oh, I took that personally. Oh, you're really not going to come shake my hand, George Carl? I took that personally. Jeez. Well, a couple of insider notes from the University of Georgia. Their practices, Kendall Milton looks like he's starting to kind of settle in a little bit. He had a few long runs and some team sessions. Looks like your starting offensive line is Broderick Jones, Devin Willock, Cedric Van Pran, Tate Ratledge, and Warren McClendon left to right. Xavier Truss is getting some looks, so the O-line's not quite settled just yet. But wide receivers and tight ends especially, no surprise that they're showing out. Branson Robinson and Andrew Paul, both freshman running backs that are making some noise. I don't know that they'll crack the depth chart too much as freshmen with what's in front of them, but they are progressing a little bit. Arian Smith come back from catastrophic injury. Looks pretty good. Looks like he's a go. And you have some young corners that are showing some potential. And Tyke Smith is also he needs to get better, more explosive. He's playing with a knee brace right now, which is not good as a cornerback. So
the least shocking thing you said is the tight ends are showing out.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's surprised by that, are they?
Other news, the sky is blue.
In other news, the sky is blue. And Cale Gundy read some racist stuff. God. Not good. Exactly. Not good at all. But no, it's not surprising with the tight ends. They're balling out, and Brock Bowers is still not really 100%. He's he had that off-season shoulder surgery, so they're working him in slow.
Who's replacing Burton? They got one guy already got that locked up, or
I mean, Lad McConkey, Arian Smith, Marcus Rosemary-Jack, St. A.D. Mitchell, they'll all kind of take that role. Arik Mitchell might take that role some. Or Gilbert, not Mitchell. Arik Gilbert might take that role some too. Brock Bowers might take that role occasionally. Like they might get creative with what they do with the personnel.
Yeah. Insane.
So, my eyes are itching like crazy.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Tennessee allergies. Are you jealous? Do y'all get this? Do y'all get this type of stuff up in Kentucky?
Oh,
where it's like allergy central.
Yeah. My mom she used to do the allergy shots when I was a kid, and she'd have to go get tested. And she still won't eat seafood. She's allergic to seafood. She doesn't eat the shrimp and the scallop. And I love all that stuff. And I'm like, Mom, I just hate that you can't eat it. And she's always would do this little snorting thing with her nose. She said, if I could just take something down my throat and just scratch it because it itches. And she would snort. The snort would be trying to scratch that itchy throat.
Oh, that's such a I'm like, ugh,
yeah, that's what she would kind of.
It's like that. Yeah, it's like
that's really good for the audience.
That's not good.
As a kid, she would do that, trying to get to that what you got going on.
Oh God, that's like it's not good. You're like clawing at your neck. You're like, yeah. And you look like that Dave Chappelle bit. Come on, Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan.
Yeah. Tyrone Biggums, yeah.
Tyrone Biggums, yeah.
Yeah, that's
love Chappelle.
Y'all feel each other's pain, you and my mom, man. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Allergy Central.
Allergy
Central.
Did you do the shots? You just do something else? Back when I was a kid, allergy shots was a thing, man. She'd go a couple times a week to the clinic.
I never did the shots. I still don't do the shots. I probably should do the shots, but I don't. I take Claritin, and I was able to snag some of my mom's Claritin prescription.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't think my mom doesn't do them anymore. But when I was growing up in the 80s, 90s, allergy shots, man, you just go get the test to see what kind of shot you need based on.
I've done the test. Like they do it all up your arm.
Yeah.
And you're like, don't scratch.
Yeah.
Been there.
Yeah.
Been there. They prick you with everything. They prick you with like 70 different allergens. It's just you just have to freaking sit there, and you're just like, oh, you want to like rub your arm off the bone, you know.
Is there food? Is there food allergies, or yours more?
Not that I know of. It's more like dust and hair and stuff like that. Yeah. That gets me. Yeah. No food so far. I mean, there's food that hurts my stomach, but I don't think it's like an allergy.
Right.
So. Well, Vinny, we're gonna get out of here.
We can do that, man.
Let's do it.
Enjoy this one.
We hope you enjoyed the camp whip around. We hope you enjoyed the Cale Gundy discussion. If you want, like, comment, subscribe today. Find us on the Believe Network as well as the Y'all's Conference Network. Get hooked up with the show at Vinny Hardy at Troopstar28 if you want him to tell you his side of the story, at Coach Burton36 as well, at Coach Corey Burton on Instagram, and at Believe in Dogs on all social platforms, at Believe in Kentucky for my man Vinny. So with that, we are out of here. So long. See you later. And go Dogs. We'll see you back here next week.
Have a good Monday. What's left of it?